Hi guys, in this video car insurance, full watch and like subscribe your
You know, car insurance, for most of us, it's just this bill we have to pay, right? But what if we started thinking about it differently? What if it wasn't just another expense, but one of the most important financial tools you actually have? Okay, let's dive in and completely transform how you see your policy. So let's get right to it. This is the big one, isn't it? The question that probably brought you here. You see that money leave your bank account every single month, and you can't help but wonder, could this be lower? Well, the answer is very likely yes. And we're going to figure out how. All right, let's start with the absolute basics. When you really boil it down, car insurance is just a simple contract. You pay them a fee, that's your premium, and in return, they promise to step in and cover these potentially huge costs if something bad happens. It's really a promise of financial backup. And that's exactly why we need to start thinking of it as your financial armor. Because think about it. A single bad accident without it could cost you tens, maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars. We're not just talking about fixing a dented bumper here. We're talking about protecting your entire financial life. And the scope of that protection is way wider than most people realize. We all tend to focus on accidents, right? But a good policy is also your defense against your car getting stolen, a tree falling on it in a storm, vandalism, and this is a big one, the massive cost of medical bills or property damage if you're the one at fault. So, how do you actually build this armor? Well, the cool thing is, it's not a one size fits all deal. You get to choose the components, building a custom plan that's just right for you. So let's take a look at the main building blocks. Okay, these are the big five you're always going to see in a nutshell. Liability, that pays for the damage you cause to other people. Collision and comprehensive, they cover your car. Collision is for crashes, and comprehensive is for pretty much everything else, like theft or storm damage. Personal injury protection helps with your medical bills. An uninsured motorist, well, that protects you if the other driver doesn't have insurance. Now, this right here is probably the biggest decision you're going to make. Liability is the bare minimum the law requires. It basically protects everyone else from you. Full coverage, which is really just a nickname for adding collision and comprehensive, is what protects your car. So the real question becomes, do you just want to be legal, or do you want your own vehicle to be protected too? All right, now let's pull back the curtain on the pricing. Ever wonder why you and your friend who have the exact same car paid totally different rates? Well, it all comes down to how these insurance companies calculate your personal risk level. So they take all of this data and they feed it into a giant, complex algorithm. Your age, your driving record, yep, even your credit score. Statistically, people with higher credit scores file fewer claims. Each of these things adjusts your risk profile. But here's the thing you've got to remember. That final step, your choices. That's the part you have the most direct control over. And one of the biggest levers you can pull is your deductible. Put simply, if you have a claim, this is your share of the cost. Think of it like this. You pay this amount first, and then the insurance company pays the rest. So this sets up a classic trade-off. If you agree to take on more of the initial cost, a higher deductible, the insurance company sees you as less of a risk, and they reward you for that with a lower monthly premium. It's all about balancing saving money now versus potentially paying more later if something happens. Okay, now for the part I'm sure you've been waiting for. We get the what and the why. So let's get into the good stuff, the how. Here is your action plan for actively getting that premium down. First up, the single most powerful strategy there is. You have got to shop around. I'm serious. Rates for the exact same coverage can vary by hundreds, even thousands of dollars between companies. I hate to say it, but loyalty rarely pays in the insurance world. So every single year, you should be getting quotes from at least 3 different providers. No excuses. Second, let's put that trade-off we just talked about to work. Use that deductible to your advantage. If you have a decent emergency fund saved up, think about raising your deductible from, say, $500 to $1,000. This one change can make a huge dent in your monthly payment. But you have to be really honest with yourself here. Could you comfortably write a check for that higher amount tomorrow if you had to? Number 3, let's think a little bigger than just your car. This one's a game changer. See, these insurance companies, they want all of your business, and they'll give you a pretty sweet discount to get it. So if you have renters or homeowners insurance with a different company, get a quote to bundle them all together. This is often one of the biggest discounts you can find. And fourth, this might just be the easiest tip of them all. Just ask. Seriously, you would be absolutely shocked at the discounts that are just sitting there waiting for you to ask about them. Call your agent and have them check for everything. Good student discounts, safe driver, low mileage, even for taking a defensive driving course. Don't leave free money on the table. Okay, so now that you know how to save some cash, we need to talk about the flip side, how to avoid some really expensive mistakes. Because a cheap policy is completely worthless if it doesn't actually protect you when you need it most. These right here, these are the little mistakes that can turn a really bad day into an absolute financial nightmare. That super cheap policy might have shockingly low limits that wouldn't even begin to cover a serious accident. Forgetting to tell them you moved could void your coverage entirely. And never, ever lie on your application. It's the fastest way to get a claim denied. And that really brings us to the key takeaway from all of this. The goal isn't just to find the cheapest premium possible. The real goal is to find the best possible value. Strong, reliable financial protection at a price that actually makes sense for you. So, as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with one final thought. Tonight, go find your own policy documents. Take a look at them and ask yourself, if the worst case scenario happened tomorrow, is this piece of paper just protecting a machine, or is it truly protecting my savings, my assets, and my entire future?
Subscribe your channel and like subscribe your channel. Comment beautiful comments and next videos inshallah inshallah.